June 10, 1912. Villisca, Iowa. A peaceful town, shattered by a brutal massacre that would remain unsolved for over a century. The Moore family, Josiah, Sarah, and their 4 children, along with 2 young houseguests, Lena and Ina Stillinger, were asleep. But the killer was already inside, waiting. In the dead of night, the murderer entered, armed with an axe. He crept through the dark, striking first with brutal force. Josiah Moore's skull was split open, his brain spilling onto the bed. He didn't stop. Sarah Moore's face was shattered by the axe, blood splattering the walls. The children, some as young as 5, met the same fate, their skulls cleaved open, blood spraying across the room. Lena and Ina Stillinger were butchered next, their faces unrecognizable from the violence. The room was drenched in blood, bodies twisted in grotesque positions, limbs at odd angles. The killer wasn't in a rush. He wiped the axe clean, turned off the lights, and locked the doors behind him, leaving the house in darkness. A macabre crime scene untouched by time. The bodies were discovered the next morning, but there were no clues, no suspects, no motive. Just blood and the empty silence of a town in terror. Several men were questioned, including a preacher named George Kelly, but the case went cold. The killer was a ghost, vanishing without a trace. The brutality of the killing suggested something personal, something deeply twisted. Was this the work of a psychopath? Or was it someone the family knew? The house still stands, abandoned and decaying. Some say it's haunted, others believe the killer's ghost still lurks, free from justice. Over 100 years later, the truth remains hidden. The killer is still out there, or long gone, but the bloodshed, it echoes through the dark. Who was the Villisca Axe Murderer? What drove them to such savage violence? The questions haunt this small town, and the answers remain elusive. Villisca may have moved on, but the victims' ghosts, they never will.